Okay, so I just wanted to talk about a little concept that recently I discussed with a student, and their problem was that they just feel like they're always playing the same licks, and they're not playing anything new or fresh. So we looked at a little idea of taking licks that they already know and revamping them. So yeah, the little concept is revamping licks. So say if you had just a bog standard minor pentatonic lick. So for example, like so say if you had something like that, okay, and you're like, well, I always play that lick. It's boring to me now. I don't know what to do with it. Okay, so first things first is that just changing a note at the end of a lick can completely change the mood, or well, the color of the lick. So there, when we got this, we're going straight back to the root note there. So if we're in A minor pentatonic, we're just going straight back to the A on the D string. Now, what if you were to change that last note? So you're kind of extending the lick there, but it suddenly sounds different. There's your first one. Has a bit of a different character to it there. Okay, what if you just completely replace that last note rather than extending it? And going straight to that C. Suddenly going to that C, so the minor third of A, just changes the lick completely. Okay, and then let's have a look at going to a different note. So I went to the G there on the D string, so 5th fret on the D. Suddenly you're starting to broaden your horizons a little bit just with one lick. So the concept that I talked about with a student was just taking licks that you already know and revamping them. So just changing a note. Now you can do this as well with rhythm. So if you think that rhythm, okay, say if we had that, you could take the same rhythm, same phrasing, and then just move it to a different string. And then suddenly it's a completely different lick. So that's another way that you can revamp them. Now, as well as changing notes, it might be nice to experiment with some different colour. So if you're just sticking with minor pentatonics, or you're a bit bored of playing minor pentatonics, or you just want to try something fresh, try adding some of your minor scale notes, so some of your natural minor scale notes. So rather than just playing minor pentatonic, try playing the natural minor scale. So just adding a few notes in. So one of those notes in particular could be the 4th fret on the G. So if we take that lick again, just go into that 4th fret on the G, which is a B note. Suddenly there's some new colour there. So you're bringing out what we're doing there is bringing out that major second, which is part of the natural minor scale there. So that brings a different colour. Let's have a look at another one. What about the 6th fret on the B? So There's a 6th fret on the B here. In this case would be an F, and that would be the minor 6 of A. So if we add that in, again part of the natural minor scale, change the lick slightly there. Let's go back to the normal one. Ooh, that kind of like pops out a bit to me. So that's a different, completely different tonality there. You never know, once you start experimenting with these things, other ideas pop out. So rather than just holding that note, I then released it to the 5th fret on the B. So then you've got a completely different colour there. So that's experimenting with some natural minor. If you know some of your modes, how about experimenting with some Dorian notes? So, for example, the 7th fret on the B. And you see that has a different colour to, so the natural minor, Dorian, so suddenly you've got two different licks. Well, in a way you're just using the same lick, but you're revamping them. You're adding some freshness, breathing some fresh air into them. Let's look at another one. So you could take the note on the 7th fret of the B, which is an F sharp, down an octave. So that would be the 4th fret of the D. So again, you've got a completely different colour. So yeah, and then fresh ideas start popping out. So we could also look at it in a harmonic minor way. So if you're familiar with the harmonic minor scale, it's just the same as the natural minor scale, but with a major 7 in it rather than the minor 7. So the minor 7 of A was G. So say we're looking at the G on the 5th fret of the D string. Now if we make that a major 7, all you need to do is move it up a fret to a G sharp. So now if we add that in at the end, suddenly sounds a bit more exotic. So that's another option. You can take that up an octave, play it either on the high E string on the 4th fret or the 9th fret of the B. So changing the lick slightly there, but just to get up to that one. So that's another thing that might pop out as well, is that once you start trying to move notes around, or you try and, oh, what if I aim for that note? Then you might have to start thinking about, oh, okay, so from that normal lick that I just did, how am I then gonna, okay, you could jump up like that, but you think, how am I gonna make that transition smoother? And you then got to start thinking about how you're going to change the passage to get to that note. So rather than going down the scale and then back up, I went down to the A note, but then back up, and then slid up, so I could get into that major 7 on the B string. Okay, so that's another thing that this concept can really help, is that once you've started to think about, oh, let's try and add that note in, I think the inspiration will start to come to think about, oh, how can I get to that note, rather than always playing the same lick. I hope you liked this video, and I hope it helped you breathe some fresh air into some old licks that you're getting a bit sick of. If you like the video, please click thumbs up and subscribe for more videos, and please leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what you think, or if I can help in any other way. Thanks.